Halloween. Probably my first time doing a video on Halloween. You know, Halloween has obviously this origins to every holiday event. With Halloween, you know, the origins in putting on costumes to ward off ghosts and trying to tell the future and communicate with the dead. You know, as time has gone on, book cultures, groups of people have used that day for different reasons, right? And you know, there's people that say, well, I'm not doing Halloween to celebrate demons and, you know, ghosts. I'm doing the fun thing aspect of it. But you know, here's my perspective, and you're free to agree or disagree, you know, as we all have the right to do so, right? You know, very interesting with Halloween that and when I was a kid, one of my costumes was a Wolverine costume. You know, some people look at that like, oh wow, that's cool, that's amazing, you know. And you know, I'm not gonna say that my personal opinion that dressing up in all these outfits is bad, evil in of itself. No. Are there some funny costumes out there? Yeah. So you know, people dress in all sorts of stuff for the day, you know. But and I also had a time when when I decided I was gonna dress up in a schoolish outfit. For those who watched the Scream movie, you know, I had the gash looking mask on, and the blood came through the mask, and I had the fake blade, fake knife, you know. And then so we got the people who are dressing up in the funny costumes and the Cinderellas and the fairy tale stuff and all sorts of stuff, and then we got the one that's dressing in these more grotesque ones. And you know, my question is, you know, why? Some people would say, oh, it's fun, you know. And I also see, as I drive around, and I'm sure many of you have seen it, the people with gigantic skeletons and gigantic looking witches and warlocks. And I think I saw a house where it was like a dark wispy thing there. It was really dark. It was like some black thing, and people spend money to, you know, put these demonic dark things on their front lawns. And why? It's fun always, but that's your idea of fun, to put that there, to put those stuff. There's so much, in my personal opinion, other things that you could do for fun, you know. Why do we gotta go towards that for our idea of fun and entertainment, right? The thing that obviously looks spooky, obviously looks grotesque, and there's, you know, and we're glorifying death, frankly. It's people who go to haunted houses, trick or treat. I mean, right there, trick. You know, why is the option to trick there? You know, candy, one of the most worst things to eat, candy. Why is not apple? Why not oranges? Why candy? The craze for candy that rots teeth, and you know, just training kids to just have this addicted to sugar, and sugar has caused a lot of issues in our health, in our minds, and it's linked to all sorts of stuff, heart disease and cancers and autism, and this goes on. Yet we are celebrating the rush for candy, right? So once again, with the haunted houses, it's it's exciting to go to a haunted house and go through all these rooms and be scared. Oh my God, it's so fun to be scared. Yeah, there's people today who are really truly dealing with fear. You're truly afraid, you know, living in anxiety that's affecting your health. Yeah, so people want to do things for entertainment, for fear and anxiety, yet when it impacts their personal everyday life now, we're not tying it to, you know, certain habits that we do. You know, I mean, I personally, you know, I don't watch horror movies. I used to be a big fan of horror movies. I don't. Try to stay away from horror games, you know. Typically I do, you know. Because that is putting something in my mind now that is desiring fear, or relishing in the fear. But they say by known people that relish in fear, desire, want to go after fear, that they live in fear, they live in anxiety, live in that. So, and I'm a Christian, and with the haunted house things, why we relishing in the fun of, for those who are Christians who know about the spiritual aspect of things, about why are we celebrating demons and ghouls, and why are we saying, oh my gosh, these demons are in here, the ghouls are in here, oh my gosh, they're scaring us. Why are we basking in that? I think we should be casting out demons. We should be casting out evil spirits out of homes, rather than celebrating haunted houses. Maybe some of you believe in demons, maybe some of you don't believe in demons. Jesus definitely believe in demons, and I believe Jesus believe in demons, and they exist. Oh, they exist. You can't see them, right? But another topic. But why would I try to find some fun in a house that is infested with demons? Why wouldn't I not tell things to go away, right? Demons bring pain, they bring anxiety, they bring confusion, they bring death. It's fun, and it's funny that we cry when people die. At least typically those who are in our families. I mean, the way the world is, we're very desensitized. We have people die every day, and we don't really feel anything. We just keep it moving, right? But typically, when it's someone that is close to us, we feel it. It hurts. You lose a son, a daughter, a spouse, a close friend, a relative that you're very close to. It hurts. Yet we glorify death, and it's fun, and it's exciting. Why? But instead of putting things on our lawns that promote life, people putting things on our lawns for Halloween, celebrating death. Where's the signs that say love everybody with a fervent love, have self-control, be patient, be forgiving, be quick to listen and slow to speak. Can any two walk together unless there be agreement? There's power in agreement. You cannot walk with somebody, whether platonically, romantically, in a business, if there's not core agreement. Where is the signs for that? Where is then the things that promote love, life, laughter, unity, stability? Where is that on our lawns? Where is that, frankly, in our homes? Yet we cry and are dismayed when evil tragedy occurs. Then we celebrate this wicked holiday, Halloween, mask it in trick-or-treating and candy and costumes, where there's also a dark reality to it. Will everybody go to the darker aspect of Halloween? No, I'm not saying every aspect of Halloween in the modern sense is bad, but many people do go to the devious thing. There's actual witches doing sacrifices out there, and warlocks, and doing devious things, and death is being honored and celebrated in many homes. So some people go there, some people don't. Some people do the so-called innocuous forms of Halloween, and eventually go to darker forms. So it's just a risky thing, and it's a waste of money, spending money on that candy and on all. Why are you spending money on huge skeletons? That money could have gone somewhere that's actually edifying, could edify your house, edify your community. Your kids look at that and they smile, and they're blessed and they're edified by that. We're not gonna get edified looking at big old goblins and ghouls, the witches, and blood pouring out everywhere. We're not gonna get edified by that. That's not gonna bring life and joy and peace to the world. It's not gonna do that. So, but yeah, for those who think contrary, you're free to believe what you want to believe. But there's a lot of other things that people can do to get together in community that promotes life. That is just wicked. So yeah, God bless y'all. I don't celebrate Halloween. I haven't in years, and I pray that you would, whether you agree or not agree, at least think about it, altering your view of Halloween, and hopefully one day just saying enough is enough. But it's your choice, right? All right, y'all. God bless you. I love you. Much love to you and your families. Later.